Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, leading the Elite Zoo Company to a bright and wonderful future as we continue to rake in the dough and bring in the visitors. Let's dive right on in, folks. Today is a bit of a special episode, and I'll explain why in a bit. First things first, as always, if you've been enjoying the series, please do not hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. I say it all the time. It's because, folks, I take a look at the number of likes and comments for a quick read on people's interest levels on the different content that's going on the channel. So it helps me make important decisions for what to, keep going and what to slow down. Apart from that, I also enjoy reading through all the comments. So when you leave your feedback, your thoughts, your opinions, your suggestions, I do read through them all, and I try to respond to them one way or another whenever possible. So do keep those likes and comments coming. It really does help make a very big difference. Now, today, like I said, like I alluded to, and I've been alluding to throughout this week, is a bit of a special episode. Now, the last time we did something like this, we got repaid with this, catastrophic situation where we jumped from India partway through and left to do the Arctic DLC stuff. But you know what? Once bitten, twice not shy, I suppose. We're going to do it again, except this time we're going to move up to the China region. And the reason why I wanted to do China, or at least kick off the China region today, is because today is Chinese New Year. So Happy New Year to those of you that celebrate, and to those of you that don't. Today is Chinese New Year's. Actually, kind of a funny coincidence. This is the 38th episode, and the number 8 is actually a very auspicious number in China as well. It is, in fact, I believe it is the luckiest number, the number 8. So that was just a happy coincidence. But coincidences and cultural references aside, this is going to be the primary focus of today's session. But before we get into it, there is some management stuff that I need to take care of. There were a couple of notes that were left in the comments that definitely need addressing, and just some things here and there. But it's going to be short, and I'm going to dive into our time lapses. Now, this episode might actually end up short by like a handful of minutes here and there, only because I actually have to go for dinner with my fiance's family later on tonight, so this recording can only last so long if I want to get it out in time, and I'm sure y'all appreciate the necessity of a schedule. So first things first, let's go ahead and let's do our exhibit trading. No, sorry. First we have to go to our animals here. Clicking all the wrong buttons. Unless we got some research completed. I meant to go to our animals. I see the paw and I immediately get drawn to it. And I want to do just the exhibit animals. I want to go by maturity, and they're all those. Yeah, sure, this is fine. I don't think I have to get any more specific than this. Go ahead and just select a bunch of these babies, literally speaking. Get rid of some of you. Get rid of you. I'll have to do a check actually at some point, because I feel like eventually we're going to start getting rid of mothers and fathers, and that's where I start to get a little nervous. I wish it would like categorize them. I could get specific about how I want my arrangements to work for days. I think this is good enough for now. I mean, that's only 22. We could get rid of some more. And again, these exhibit animals will hopefully help us maintain finances as we try to feed our elephants and things like that. Yes, we do. We have a mother and we have a father. We have all your mums and dads are all intact. Do we have a green iguana father? We do. So no more young iguanas necessary. We have parental giant forest scorpions. Good. Raphael, I think we can get rid of you. Do we have... No, we don't. Raphael might actually be the only centipede. Yeah, he's adopted as well. Oh, so we need another Amazonian giant centipede, and I believe we need another beetle as well. Some of y'all were pointing out, so we'll go ahead and take care of that. Let's go ahead and move all of you to the trade center, and let's go ahead and trade them out. I really hope the elephants don't bite us in the butt. Select all, quick trade, good 11.6k. And I might need to get a bit more specific with our exhibit breeding, if only to make more money every time we trade them out. Sorry, not the vendor. Over here we have... we've got enough breeding pairs. We'll have babies coming out here, no problem. Over here, yes, we do need a potential mother giant centipede. Sorry, not animal. Oh man, these guys are expensive. These guys are expensive, eh? Well, rhinos aren't an urgent need. They're an eventual need. I'm more worried about the price of getting pandas. If we take a look at the panda, not the red panda. We will be getting the red panda in the China area, though. It's the giant panda, isn't it? G for giant. There we go. Giant panda. 555. Gonna keep an eye on this. We want to have both sexes showing. You know what? I'm tempted to... Oh, those are really bad genes. Those are really bad genes. We'll give it some time. Maybe patience is a virtue, as they say, right? So let's hope that it's a virtue that pays off today. All right, so giant centipede, Amazonian giant centipede. There you are. Thankfully, this is just a financial expense. You seem decent enough. Sure, let's go ahead and get you. Send you in there. And make sure we have you nope. Make sure we have you marked as the mommy. Done. So we're done there. Over here, we're good. Over here, I believe we're good as well. Yep, mother and father, both relatively young. Over here, we are all right as well. The dad's getting a little bit on the older side, but that'll be solved soon enough. That's everything downstairs. Up over here. Sorry, I just like doing the thorough check. We're fine as well. Over here, we are... yeah, we're okay. And over here, we're okay as well. And over here, we are fine, too, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, okay, excellent. Just gotta make sure everyone's doing all right every once in a while, right? Over here, we've got, yep, good stuff. More babies en route over here as well. Every time I see the M, well, not every time, but sometimes when I see the M, I think male. And then I see the pregnancy sign, and I go, wait a second. And then I go, oh, right, it's M for mom, not for male. All right, we're good here. We are good here. We are good. You're becoming a lot more efficient at this, aren't I? Like, I've got those click coordinates down pat. Ooh, Sophia is pregnant. Hopefully she'll have those babies before she goes, but that's something to keep an eye out for. And we're good over here, and same thing. These guys are getting old. So that's the creature cavern, and over here, I keep forgetting about our scorpion. And I also just want to point out that I do remember, yeah, these guys are getting old as well. Need more babies. I do remember that these things are sticking out. We'll repair these. We'll fix all this up in a in like a Sunday special or something at some point. But yeah, so that's that. All that taken care of. All the exhibit animals taken care of. Let's go ahead and right, take a look at our marketing campaign. As I am setting up my marketing campaign, I'm reminded by my own self to let all of you know that my giveaways are, as of this point, complete. So the winner for the third and final giveaway has been picked. Thank you all for participating. I hope the winners enjoy their prizes, and hopefully I'll get a chance in the future to do it once again to get more DLCs out there. Again, a big thanks does go out to the developers for handing me those keys to give away. It's always greatly appreciated. It's always cool to see when devs want to see other people playing their games, and then, you know, try to spread the word and spread the joy. But yeah, hope you all enjoy the Arctic DLC. Those of you that won and those of you that didn't, you know, better luck next time, hopefully. And it looks like we have marketing going. I wonder if I should add more marketing. I can get 2 campaigns at a time. I don't think a late night talk show is the time, but what if we get like a comedy show, like a TV commercial during a comedy show going, you know? High impact, could go a long way. Divisive appeal for these 3. We have the money. If we cross that 4K barrier with the new animals we have right now, that could be big. You know what, actually, let's hold off on it. We've got 1 going. We need to figure out how much this is going to hurt us without adding too many variables, right? Without adding too many variables. Now, that's the marketing campaign looked at. Again, just kind of going through my notes over here. Down over here, I got a name for the Peafowl, where'd it go? Gulpy Soda, and it is the, where'd it go? There we go. Peafowl Punch. Peafowl Punch. Non-alcoholic, of course, I should hope. And with that done, I'm going to focus a little bit on the elephants, and then we're going to do a little bit of work over here just to finalize some things, and then we're going to move forward with the China stuff. And we'll come back later to fix some of this stuff. So just as a reminder, folks, I am going to extend this whole temple look and aesthetic and feel across this area to make it feel a lot more connected. And as many of you were pointing out, this space is just way too large. Are you pooping? Is that how we're starting this episode? This space is way too large. It is about 14 times the size, 14,391. It needs to be 1,000. So this is extremely big. And I might actually, yes, break this up and make it a little bit smaller, because with great size comes great disappointing views, and that is unacceptable, obviously. So what I think I'm going to do is, that looks like an elephant's trunk, or like something else, but let's go ahead and increase the width. If I were to align to grid, I would box down this way. I don't want that. I don't want it to box down that way. Deselect the grid. Let's go ahead and cancel you. I'm glad I didn't invest in all this stuff. Cancel you. Let's go ahead and drop the length a little bit. Drop the length a lot. See, if I were to do something like, say, this, right? Again, just kind of planning it out right now. If I was to do something like this, pull it straight down, and then maybe over here you can connect up over there. Try that for now, right? If I were to seal this off as the elephant area, and then make this the rhino area. Now, some of you were pointing out that, okay, this was interesting. So planetzoopedia.com is a fan-made website, planetzoopedia.com. It's been recommended to me often. It's a great way to figure out if animals can cohabitate, if they can coexist, what kind of space you need. It's got a habitat builder. It's got all sorts of information. It's a fantastic website. I couldn't even begin to describe the detail it goes into, but it's basically Zoopedia, except online. So, when you're at work, you can be on your phone and doing some more important work. Or when you're in class, I guess. But it was saying that people are saying that Indian elephants and rhinos can cohabitate, which is good. So for now, what I might do is I might temporarily create a barrier over here and then expand it and make it one big habitat, or I might make it two separate habitats. We'll see. We'll see what we do. But for now, like I was saying, we're going to go ahead and edit the barrier over here. And make it a little bit smaller, because yeah, you guys are absolutely right. I've been overdoing it with the size of some of these barriers or some of these enclosures. I think the reason is, well, I think the thing is that I've always had a bad sense of scale for some reason, a bad sense of like distances, and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know why it's a thing, but it plagues me, and so I'll often be like, oh yeah, this looks like the right size, and it's like 20 times as big as it needs to be. And then I'll just be like, oh well, it still works, so it's fine. and that's where that comes from. But y'all are very much right. I'm using up so much space, and because I'm using up all this space, I'm not able to. I potentially won't be able to fit all the animals that I want to fit in, and that's obviously not ideal. So hopefully we're going to fix that problem a little bit today. Got rid of this, yep. Hopefully you can connect. No, of course you can't connect. Why? Obstructed. Terrain too uneven for placement. Okay. Well, at this point, I guess you could become a null. Still uneven, are you? Alright. How about now? Okay, this should work. There we go, cool. So they'll be a bit more closed in. That should be, yeah. So now it's 6 times as much space as one needs. We'll have a little bit of a herd here. If we take a look at their Zoopedia page, you'll see that they ideally live in groups of, where we go, 3 to 30. So, we can have a handful of them in here. They take time to age and stuff. We might even bring another female. Oh, which reminds me, I need to check, and I hope to God I didn't cactus up again. Chance of successful conception is 0%. Why? I've never seen that error before. I was worried that they were from the same zoo, apparently, and I was worried that this would cause inbreeding, but no, even worse. Is it because of low welfare? I guess that's what it's telling me. It's low welfare is the issue. Fair enough. Didn't realize welfare was a problem by that much, but okay. We'll fix that this session. Nonetheless, this is a much more reasonable space. We'll have people coming over this way. We'll create like a garden plaza kind of a thing over here. For the animals, for the elephants to roam in, and we'll also create like an extension of the temple structure over here, build like a courtyard for it. I'd almost like, well, hold on. Oh, imagine that walkway from over top. It would look hideous, which is why I don't want to do it. It would look hideous. But sorry, that's not what I was trying to do. What I was trying to do was, it's at this angle. Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. I just probably have to like rotate some of these a little bit. Well, it's a funky construction, but we'll be fine. Yeah, it'll extend out like this as a rectangle, have a nice space over here, maybe give them some hard shelter, an area to bathe and stuff, so you can come here to watch them, and then come out here to roam and play. Cool, that sounds good to me. Now in terms of vegetation and stuff, they're okay. Yep, all this stuff is good. The coverage is kind of low. So let's go ahead and get tropical and temperate. Get them a couple plants for now. The thing is, when I hit play, I don't want it to suddenly go, hey, they're super upset. And they're, I don't know, they're protesters because they're super upset. I don't want any of that happening. So grassland, tropical, and temperate. And it's got to be from Asia. And we'll just drop in a couple of trees. Oh, these are funky looking trees. I didn't notice them before, but anyway, besides the point. You can add some bamboo over here. Oh, that's just a refraction. Add some of the bamboo that I love so much. Over here as well. Let's liven up the place a little bit. All right, that works. That works. Get some of these down here. Trying to figure out the ideal placement, because I don't want to cover the temple up too much. You don't want to spend so much time making something just to cover it all up. That would be foolish. Don't want cherry blossoms or anything. Holly trees are tiny. I want those big trees. Ooh, rabbits. Tamarind trees are always nice. They have the nice colors to them and stuff. There we go. Maple trees, I suppose, are pretty large. There were some really large trees that I'm trying. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead and put you down like so. I was like, I know there are really big trees somewhere in here. I'm gonna drop you down over here. Good stuff. They're liking their plants a bit more now. Done. So for now, I'm just gonna do this again. This is not supposed to be an elephant episode. It's supposed to be a China episode. So I'm just trying to make sure they'll stay happy, and we're gonna come back to this to complete it, maybe the episode after or something, right? So fear not, don't worry. This is not the end game for the elephant enclosure, and the rhinos aren't even in yet. It's pointed out that the elephants might escape over here. Seems like they can get partway into the water, but not all the way. That's good. Oh, they can't actually get in here. This is where I want them to get into. Oh no, don't be like that, game. Don't be like that. This is also the water that I can't remove. Don't be like that. Okay, well, let's see if we can't somehow make this work. Because this is where I want them to come through to. Okay, let's see if that helps at all. And we'll also have to adjust the barrier over here. We just have to push it back a little bit, and it'll be fine. So from here onwards. Well, I hope that'll be all we need to do. We'll go ahead and nudge you back a little bit. Of course, you're gonna. Oh, all right. Let's do this for now. Temporary solution again. But hopefully, when we hit play, you'll be okay. But before we hit play, we want to make sure we've got for elephants. We need some feeding areas. Large feeding areas. We can go ahead and put these down over here, I suppose. I don't want to raise that at all. Put the feeding area over here, perhaps. For now, again, we'll rearrange this stuff when it comes time to build the remainder of their habitat. But I just want to make sure that they're comfy right now. So they got some place to rest over there, and they've got a place to eat. We want to get them large fixed roller feeder, get them close to this construct over here. This will be their food enrichment. That's a little bit higher there now. And we also want to get them, they like mud baths. We want to get them a toy, right? At least one toy. Rubbing pillars, are you kidding me? Well, we got to get them large balls to play with, right? Well, I don't want to miss when that happens. All right, food enrichment is perfect. Let's go ahead and get them a rubbing pillar. Maybe up over here. I wonder if I do something like... Yeah, it won't let me. I was like, I wonder if I could just like hide it in the tree. Ooh, it'll let me do it over here. Okay, let's try this, right? I'm just gonna put it over there. Helps a little bit. So they need more. We got a mud bath up over here as well. Right now, people don't have a reason to go all the way down, so I'd rather they don't, basically, is what I'm getting at. And in fact, I'm going to actually cancel the path here, so don't go too far. We've got bins, we've got donation bins. Let's go ahead and add, well, no, we've got enough donation bins. What we need is more education boards. Let's go ahead and steal one from over here. All right, we can go ahead and pick you up with the speaker as well. And we want to go ahead and let's make you a blueprint. Make you a blueprint. Education board and other, sure. Excellent thumbnail as well. So if I go to my blueprints, it should be a little bit easier to drop this stuff off. Where are we? Over here. Let's go ahead and get one right as you come in. Right. Over here is a good spot, I think. Well, let's get it next to the donation bin, obviously. Influence those donations. Got to make sure you're set to, not the tiger. Why can I not set you to the elephant? I guess I gotta hit play first. All right, well, we'll leave that for later. Leave that for later. Go ahead and get some more of you down. You over here. That is definitely not the right direction to face. There we go. And one last one, I think, over here. We'll do the trick. Go up over here. Let's go. Cool. Just like that. So that's enough education. We've got donation bins. We've got everything we need. Just got to set the education to the right thing. And over here, are we able to set you to the right thing? We've got the education board up here. No, that's weird. Maybe it's because I just updated the habitat. Anyway, I think we can hit play now. We do have to do some other work with regards to guest needs over here. But we'll do that later. Oh no, you weren't taking a poop. You were just sitting down. Wait, or is that a poop? No, that's your leg. Adorable. A habitat has become invalid. Why has this habitat become invalid? What has invalidated you? Oh, this connection broke. I see. Well, that's not good. There we go. Hopefully you're fixed now. Incomplete. Why are you over here? I wish we just rushed me to where it is incomplete. Yeah, I guess it's over here. All right. There we go. That's gotta be it, right? Yes, done. All right, so let's quickly check their habitat space again. Oh no, yeah, they can make it across. They can swim comfortably. Okay, well in that case, go ahead and pull this up a little bit. Just to make sure they're not able to go all the way across. And again, we can adjust the river and stuff later. This lag is not pleasant. Yeah, let's quickly check over here again. Still have access from over here, but we can cut that off pretty easily. We can cut that off pretty easily. There we go. There we go. Now if we take a look, yep, we're safe. They can get out over here though. Not the end of the world, because what we can do is we can edit the barrier. Can we make you out of concrete? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And let's go ahead and make all of you out of one-way glass as well. Or maybe we don't want glass down there. No one's going to be able to see down there, so that's fine. All right, now you're able to roam around without me having to worry about you. Is that right? That is right. Perfect. So they can actually take a swim over here. Unfortunately, they can't go down over there, and that's really kind of a bummer. This is where I wanted them to... Okay, you know what we could do, though? What we can do, after checking their overall happiness, which is good, and after checking if they are now able to... Yes, mate. Excellent. Good. And they're not related, so thanks for pointing that out, and I'm glad to say that we don't have to worry about their potential inbreeding. Go ahead and... Come on. Just work for me here, game. I think eventually what I'd want to do is I could make this out of sandstone and whatnot. Make it look like it's a structure. Like, oh, you know what? Oh, man. Yes. it makes me think of, and I could be mistaken, but in my head, I'm seeing images of like the Golden Temple at Amritsar and stuff. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong, as always. But there is a, you can take stairs into the water. Is that the Golden Temple, or is that, no, I'm mixing things up. But taking steps into the water, very fitting thing. Very, the thing that happens. Steps into the water. I've got vivid images in my head. So stress is really high over here. Guessing because the crowds are so wild. Oh man, how did so many people suddenly decide to show up and just assault our tortoises? I'm wondering if I should make this one-way glass rather than a null space. This is really bothering them. The adults less so. Alright, let's see. I don't want to get distracted by anything today. If I were to build... one-way glass over here. Let's get rid of the snapping. Get you... Oh, sorry. Didn't want that. I wanted the glass. One-way glass. There we go. Get you curving. Right, so we got you there. We'll get you over here. Like this kind of a thing. So they're still able to access the rest of the space, but they have some privacy. Right, so people are able to look in, but the animals are not able to look out. This should very quickly help their stress levels, yeah. I might want to make a prettier alternative to this. Just like create little corners where they can hide. But for now, this will do the trick, I think. Though what won't work is the donation bins that people can't reach. That definitely won't work. Move you in there. You're fine-ish. There we go, move you in there. Can't have people not donating. Alright. A temporary solution, maybe it becomes a more permanent solution, but at least it's solving the stress issue. That was I couldn't just sit by and watch that happen. Right, we gotta fix all of these. Make you the Indian elephant. I'm confused why I wasn't showing when the game was paused, but hey, it is what it is, I suppose. Make you the Indian elephant and make you the Indian elephant as well. People must be really confused right now. This doesn't look anything like a tiger. What is all this talk of stripes that this voice is saying? Alright, that's all good. Vet research is complete, so we can get somebody working on the elephants now. Diseases are almost done. I think we actually already have someone working on the elephants, don't we? Yes, we do. So Tia Kaiser, let's maybe work on some of these exhibit animals because they've been neglected, to say the least. Right, so what I was talking about before I got rudely interrupted, and now I'm being interrupted by the nighttime. Steps into the river. Where have I seen this? What image is being conjured in my head? Someone please let me know. Someone please let me know. But my point is, we can almost create like... Again, it's supposed to feel like this is a human construct, right? So what if we do something like this? Obviously not high up in the air like that, but something like this. Will they be able to use these steps? One way to find out, right? One way to find out. And that is this. Can't even get up to it. All right, well, maybe we'll experiment with that later, but I feel like we would be able to pull that off. For now, let's try using some rocks. I really hope they can get in here. That was kind of like the point. It's either this or we have to figure out what's wrong with the water so we can adjust the terrain. Some of you have had excellent suggestions as to what it might be. I don't know if today's the day I want to experiment with that. Okay. What if we lower you a little bit? Do something like this. How about now? Okay, you're able to get up to the... Ah, there we go. All right. A temporary solution, but a solution nonetheless. We have some escape routes over here that obviously need solving. That's because it can get out of their habitat into this area. Well, for that, the solution, my friends, is to do... what? I guess something similar to what we did over there, which is lower you down. Move you over to here. Lower you down as well. We don't need any giant chain link fences. Move you over here. Move you over there. If you... Why? Come on. There we go. Perfect. And then make you a... electric fence. Steel mesh. Don't want to do concrete. Concrete. I don't know how I feel about the concrete. We'll have to headcanon that there's a gap in the concrete for a boat to go through, but I don't know if our elephants can just swim over top of it. Yeah, seems like they don't really care about this. Seems like they don't really care about this. Animals will fight you to overcrowding. Go ahead and deal with that real quick. There's always so much going on. This is the thing about hitting play in this game. There's always something going on. I can hear them fighting too. Stop it. Stop it. Oh man, these guys, these males have all become adults at the same time. Go ahead and move them all. Oh, I can rehome. No, let's send them to the trade center. I believe Yule is the father. Is he not? He's the father of something. Yule. Yule can be the mother to all of them. Yes. No inbreeding over here. Okay. So yes, that was right. It is Yule. Now, if I go to my animal trading, here's what I need to do. I need to try and... Oh my god, some of these genetics are so bad. This isn't terrible, actually. Let's go ahead and pick Maylin up. Maylin. 9.7 years old. How old did they get? I don't want to lose out on an affordable 20. Alright, so halfway through her years. Middle ages. Sure, let's adopt you. Not the best genes, but we're not going to get something for cheap. Right. So back to animal trading here. Let's take a look at our animal storage. These guys are all excellent genetics. They come from good stock. Let's go ahead and try to trade them for, let's say, 50 worked previously. Let's try 75. Let's try a couple different numbers. Let's try 75s and 100s. I think these guys are worth 100, easy. I think they're worth more than 100 if I'm honest. But there you go. If I can make, 300-ish easily, that'll make me feel a lot more comfortable. Make me feel a lot more comfortable. Anyway, we'll see if they go. If they don't, then they don't, and we'll adjust that accordingly. All right, what are we looking at here? Vet research complete. Cowpox virus, MRSA. Ike, let's get you working on some more of these exhibit animals. Vet research is complete again. Okay, good stuff. Keep that going. How are we doing over here? Starting to make some money already. You having a good time over here, buddy? Yes, you are. Feeling good. Feeling overall pretty good. Social group is kind of not that great. Adult population is just 2. I could get them another adult, but I feel like it's a little unaffordable. Nonetheless, they're having a good time. We'll clean this up next session. Again, this is not the elephant session. Elephant session. We'll get back to the elephants and the rhinos next time, folks. So I apologize if you're upset by the fact this is kind of incomplete. But again, like I said, today's a bit of a special day. It's a special opportunity, so I figured let's take advantage of it and do something a little special for our animals. Now, the crocodile space, which is the last thing we're going to take care of before we go up to the pandas. Well, they're getting their food. Many of you were saying that their space is too large, and it is too large. But not by all that much. It's only 3 times the size that one needs, approximately. And once they have babies, they'll need some more room. And they seem to be making their way around fair enough to get their food and stuff. So I think we're actually fine there. What I do need to do, though, is... What do I need to do? Right. These lights evidently are upside down. They are supposed to be the other way around. I don't know why the game has them upside down, but they're supposed to be the other way around. And they're supposed to hang off. Yeah, see, according to the game, this is upside down. Otherwise, the green would be pointing up. But it makes a lot more sense for them to be hanging from these little hooks. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Come on. That's about as close as we're going to get. Good enough. That's how these things work. So, yeah, lesson learned. Also, money's coming through okay. I'm starting to feel a bit more comfortable about the idea of polar bears again. I see them get brought up very often. And don't worry, folks, I miss them too. I love polar bears. I love bears in general. I should... Sometime, somebody needs to remind me to tweet out the image that explains how much we love polar bears in this house. On which note, if you don't follow me on Twitter, link is in the description down below. If you're not in our Discord, link is in the description down below as well. But yes, I really like polar bears, so don't worry, I miss them dearly as well. And we will get them back soon, hopefully. Money's looking good. We're about to hit 500k, so if we can't afford them now, we'll never be able to afford them. And I've seen some people mention that they might be bugged. I've seen some people mention that even with like $1 million, they quickly went bankrupt. But I feel like a big part of it has to do with the infrastructure that's been built up. And right now, all of our animals are, I think, making us enough money. I don't want to jinx it, but I think they're making us enough money that we can comfortably get the cost of the polar bear covered. I think is what's going to do the trick for us. All right, lots of kids over here. People having a good time, I hope. People buying a lot of food and stuff. That's the other thing, right? You need to have, like, eateries and vendors and merch stores and things like that to make sure you're making enough money from other things so that you can pay off the ridiculously expensive polar bear feeding fees. So far, elephants don't seem to be hurting us that badly, which, honestly, thank God. All right. I guess that good fortune is fitting of Ganesh and his well, he's the deity of. All right, there we go. Boom, done. Is that all of them? No, we've got these ones here as well. God damn it, party. Lesson learned: in the future, when you're not 100% confident about how to do something, just don't do it 10 times over and then have to redo it afterwards. But it's okay. You live and you learn, right? You live and you learn, ladies and gentlemen. That's the important thing in life. There we go. Yeah, I kind of feel a little silly for not having noticed this when I was actually placing these down. Like, where do they go? It couldn't possibly be on this hook-like structure that is clearly built for this exact purpose. Couldn't possibly be for that. All right. There we go. There we go. Beauty. Beauty. Now, what isn't beautiful are these transitionary areas, but we'll figure that stuff out, folks. We'll figure that stuff out. I really want to see the elephants playing in the water. It brings me so much joy to even think about that. Now, one thing that's been suggested is that this would look a lot less like China and a lot more like Southeast Asia if these were actually orange. If that's the case, then that's the case. So let's go ahead and make y'all orange. And then we'll duplicate some more of them. Again, just want to quickly get this area done. And we can move on to China. Really excited for our for my plans for the Chinese expansion. And again, we'll have pandas. We'll have red pandas. We'll have the pangolin, I think is what it's called. I always forget the name of that thing. I'm not familiar with that animal at all, if I'm honest. So that'll be exciting for me. I mentioned this in a video a long time ago where I was talking about why I was excited for Planet Zoo. I'm going to take a moment to just say this feels like Southeast Asia right now. Monsoon season, heavy rains, you know, pitter-pattering off rooftops and the water. Just, sorry, it took me to a different headspace there. But yeah, one of the things I was talking about way back when Planet Zoo was, you know, first announced, and I was like, oh yeah, it's one of my most anticipated games. And one of those videos I mentioned, one of the things that I'm most excited for about this game is it's a game that teaches you as you play. And I always admire games that can do that because I believe that video games have a lot of power in that sense. I learned a lot from video games. My love of history and my love of mythology came from video games, from playing the Total War games were kind of my first real push into history. Yeah, and I played them when I was really young, and it's influenced my entire life since. The Age of the Age of Mythology games, the you know, Pharaoh and Caesar, all those city building games. They completely changed me as a person. They kind of helped define who I was, and so whenever a video game takes the opportunity to teach or otherwise inform, it just it hits an extra note for me. I just go like, you know what, I like that. And so that was one of the things I was really excited about with Planet Zoo, is that there's so much to learn, and it makes an attempt with Zoopedia to actually teach some of it. And with how the game works, you know, like, you will not do well if you're not paying attention to what your animals want. Oh my god, just soaking in the rain, are you, buddy? Man, they are so cute. Elephants are adorable. This makes me think of the Triceratops scene from Jurassic Park. It was Triceratops, right? We watched those movies, it's been a while. Getting distracted by the cuties. Can't wait until we see elephant babies. Elephant babies are going to be adorable. And are they able to use the rubbing pillar? I haven't seen it yet. So Adia doesn't seem to like the rain, but Siddharth over here, definitely basking in it. Alright, Southeast Asia done. I have updated the education boards. I've got the walking path fixed up. I've checked their inbreeding situation. This is all good. All right, since the rain is happening, let's do a couple of things over here. For one, this entire effect needs to be rotated because... Not you, I don't need you. The thing is, we are actually, as y'all have rightfully pointed out in the comments, the river is technically flowing in the other direction, so it should be flowing this way. Cool. And I also want to get some more effects going. Where are we? Special effects. Mist. Oh, the rain has stopped. Still kind of misty and foggy. Get the mist effect going. I mean, the huge is too big. There we go. Yeah, see if we can get like the mist going. Gives that nice feeling of being in more of a swampy kind of an area. Oh, and now the snow comes. Game. Why you gotta do me like this? These are floating bamboo. Not really how they occur naturally. See, this game teaches you so much. Bamboo doesn't float. Did you know that? We need some more heating down here, as is evidenced by the collection of snow. Go ahead and sort that out. Oh, and you know what? The elephants will not like this climate either. Go ahead and drop you down below and rotate you. There we go. That should give us some good coverage. But yeah, the elephants will not enjoy this at all. Where are we? There you are. Yeah, habitat temperature, I'm guessing, is why it's... Temperature and terrain, well, because we got snow. I imagine they want 40-ish degrees, 30 to 40 degrees, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Zoopedia over here. And let's take a look at... Where is it? 8 to 40. So we can go with a comfy... Well, let's just get something down here. Put you down over here. Set you to 30. Yeah, you're always 30 by default. We can go ahead and put you down over here. Another one down over there. Hopefully power is reaching. Indeed it is. Well, it's in the habitat, so it would always reach. Get one in there. All right. To get one over here. Got to keep them warm. They will not enjoy this kind of weather at all. This is not what they're used to at all. That's another cool thing, that the game actually considers, like, hey, yeah, these animals and their climates and their, I mean, just, I don't know. I like that kind of stuff. All right. Starting to warm up a little bit. Almost got it all covered up. That. And I think we have a blind spot over here. We have a couple. Because we can also get the pathway warmed up right from underneath. Like so. That'll warm both sides. And I'm sure our guests and our animals will appreciate that. Where'd that heater go? There it is. Go over there. Let's get another one over here. Perhaps another one over here. Oh, look at them. They're all hiding from the snow. And of course, I need to get lighting and stuff done over here as well, but that, my dear friends, will have to wait a little bit. Montezuma's about to mature, so we're going to have to take care of that. By which I mean someone has to go. Don't want the overcrowding to become a problem over here. So let's take a look at their genetics right now. Not the best. But, you know, didn't come from the best genes either. Ixtli is the mother. Where is the father? Where is your daddy? Not Ixtli's daddy, the baby's daddy. I need lighting over here as well. Actually, I guess I never got around to doing that. Alright, time to find you in the old-fashioned way. Zuma. Zuma named his baby Montezuma. Come on. Zuma's in here somewhere. I see you, Zuma. Why are you just laying there in the bush? What are your genes like? Oh, these are good genes. It's the mother that didn't really help this time around. Wonder if I should replace Ixtli. But nonetheless, the kid's gotta go. Well, no longer a kid. Montezuma, you are still a juvenile. And you will be for a while, I suppose. We just gotta keep an eye out for the overcrowding reminder. People seem to be enjoying them. Q for small steam train looks rad. You think the Q looks rad? Awesome. There's the warning again. Running away from aging. I hear that, buddy. I hear that. Run away from old age. Do it. Never become an adult. What's the inspector saying so far? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Crikey Creeks just got to make her say crikey, and then we'll be good. Wait, Montezuma, where'd you go? It is dark in here. There you are. Might be some time still, actually, until the maturing happens. Still waiting for the snow to pass, though. It's October, so it'll be, you know, a couple days to go. Maybe while that's happening, check a quick look. Little juvenile. A quick look at our power coverage over here. Because I want to go ahead and get some lighting done. Well, I was in the middle of misting, actually, right? Come on, party. Try to at least stick to one thing here and there. Snow might not be very good. Mist coming out over there as well. There we go. This is starting to feel nice. Oops, no. Wanted you grouping up. There we go. Habitat cleanliness is a disease risk. At Moria Plaza, really? Really? Time since last visit is infinite. Why is that? Go ahead and call a keeper. Why is that? Because our work zones, actually on which note? Our work zones should be okay. One thing I need to do, after I arrange some research over here for more disease research, or work on the Titan beetle, and let's get you working on... What? Diseases are almost done. Glanders, I guess. There's the bear's tape here. Warning. One of you is Montezuma. Wait, why are you two fighting? You're supposed to be getting along. Also, these voices, these sounds. Oh, man. Ixtli came out on top there. Ixtli is both alphas. All right, Montezuma. Let's release you to the wild. For 39. Sure, because they're not the best genes. I don't think I'll make too much off of Montezuma. The wild you go. They're endangered. Or at least, I don't know if they're in danger. I forget their safety level, but... I'll look at Zupedia. It'll tell me. They are endangered. Okay. I thought they were the step below endangered. What's we got over here? Cleanliness is disease risk. Well, I've sent a keeper. He's en route. Vet research is complete. Is that more elephant stuff? Titan beetle and more elephant stuff. Yes, excellent. We'll work on that later. More animals. Symington is having a hard time here. What's wrong over here, and why is our heater not working? Or is it our cooler that's not working? When did this problem start happening? Didn't notice this before. -10 to 28. This takes them down to -18. Okay, well, let's make you -5 instead. -4. Okay. All right, sun's come up. It is a clear day. Nothing to worry about. I think it's time to hit pause. It's time to make note of the fact that we are a almost 5-star space. Guest happiness is a little low, I imagine. No, looks like we're clean over here. Looks like we're clean. We'll figure out what... It's probably because of, like, drinking and eating and things like that in this area, but we'll sort that out. Really quickly, crime. Let's go ahead and replace all this stuff. Not surprised, because I do also need to go ahead and get some security going. So, second last thing to handle. I hate doing this. I hate saying, like, oh yeah, it's almost time for the time-lapse, and then going, oh wait, actually. So I apologize for that, but these things come up, and... What's your problem? Are you red for security? But yeah, these things come up and I have to deal with them. Let's get the standing camera, perhaps, up over here. I get all this space covered, right? Some gaps here and there. Put you up there. Don't like how it's like leaning and like curving. Might want to do something a little different. Yeah, I might want to save the security cameras for up there for later. We'll deal with that eventually, but I do need to remember to get security up there. Seems like people are enjoying the reviews and stuff though, so at least there's that. I think oh, look at that, already 723. I think the problem is that people aren't incentivized enough to come up over here because there's no like food and stuff like that. But once the boat stops here, and what I'm gonna do with the boat is it's gonna go. I've changed its directions a little bit. It's gonna go up this way. It's gonna go around this way, come up, and then come back down and attach. And what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to add a stop over here so that people can get off over here and check out the orangutan and stuff like that. And then I'm going to also have them get off over here so they can come up and check out the rhinos and elephants. So from Southeast Asia, you can get up over here pretty easily. And you can get down here as well pretty easily. Australia, by the way, you've been heard loud and clear. Australia is going to be moved to that side next to Africa. The world is... You know, the globe is spherical, so we can do that and maintain some of our geographical integrity. It's not like that was a core tenant, but we'll be moving Australia, and that gives the Komodo dragons a lot more space, which I know will please many of you, and it also gives the orangutan a lot more space, which I think will please many of you, and it'll also please me, because I wanted them to have a nice playpen, nice play area. I love orangutan, of all animals. Anyway, enough rambling. Folks, it is time to go to China. Time for the time lapse. Again, happy Chinese New Year's. That's kind of the whole special element that this episode's, you know, quote unquote focused around. I'm going to go ahead and change the time so it's not these long shadows that can sometimes get in the way of making a good building. So let's go ahead and change the time real quick. Good old fashioned blueprint hack. So glad that this exists. Oh, don't tell me you're about to crash, game. Don't do it, game. Yep, that was a game crash, and not just once, but it crashed like 3 times when I tried to make blueprints out of smaller things to change the time. So you know what, folks? We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. Just going to hit play for a moment longer. Hopefully the sun will right itself up, and as we're waiting for it to do that, we're actually going to go ahead and make a couple of adjustments that I forgot to make earlier. So we're still, you know, using the time. India Center should in fact include some of these. Share some of those staff areas and whatnot. It'll help, I think, make things a bit more smooth over here. Apart from that, I think we're okay. Incomplete track, that's all right. How are you doing? Crikey Creek is the last thing that needs checking. Kadek, how are you doing, buddy? Yes, I think we're going to get that 5-star treatment. I think we're going to get that 5-star. It's going to be good. All right, sun straightening up a little bit. I think we're good to go. I can go ahead and delete you. I'll remember what I'm doing this time-lapse for. Yeah, I think this is good enough. And I think the mountain range is large enough. Hopefully we can do a quick check on Zoopedia for our Himalayan bear, I believe it needs about the same space. The Himalayan brown bear needs 550, which the grizzly bear needs more space, so we're fine there. And if the grizzly bear is 750, what is the snow leopard? Elemento PQRS T. Snow leopard. 705. All right, so if that's enough space for the grizzly, then this is more than enough space for both animals. Great. I might leave a little bit of extra room over here. And the panda itself, the giant panda, requires 900, so a little bit more than the grizzly. Again, I want to make sure we don't overdo it, as I've been doing for the recent past, right? All right, it is basically noon right now. Sun is straight above us. This is as good as it's going to get, folks. It is time-lapse time. It's going to be fun. Let's get to it. All right, folks, I've been looking forward to this time-lapse for a while. I've got some decent, I think, ideas for it. You could say I'm trying to make something pretty cool here. But yeah, we're going to go with relatively standard East Asian imagery. We're going to have that, classic Forbidden Palace kind of look going. We're going to have a little plaza area. We're going to have a fair bit of landscaping. I'm trying to keep my Japanese and Chinese influences separate. There's a lot of overlapping just because of historical reasons, but I am trying to keep them separate so that eventually when we have more Japanese animals coming in, they do feel at least a little distinct. However, this is the gateway to East Asia, and we are, of course, opening with China. So first things first, doing a little bit of landscaping over here, using the lake at the top of our quote-unquote Himalayas to provide water everywhere, because why not? We can use one filtration system to clean most of the water over here. I think we might need a second one, actually, because this is a separate entity and there's no overlap. But we might actually bring this river all the way down to the Arctic area. Nonetheless, using the bridges, wanting to use the bridges for humans as well as animals, but unfortunately, that's not how paths work, so we have to settle for uglier bridges for our people, while our animals will have, of course, the nicer bridges. But yeah, definitely going for the full landscaped, ponds and waterfall look and feel, and you'll see that developing. Now, again, as always, folks, a quick reminder that the way I like to time-lapse is I like to build the structure, build the core first, and then come back to things later to then further detail things out. So you're going to see the core of this palace, of this plaza, of the animal area as well, the enclosure. I always forget the word. The enclosure as well. We're going to get the animal in today too. But there's obviously at the end of today's time-lapse, there will still be work to do, as I like to finesse things. And I don't like working when I'm tired, because that's how you get lower quality stuff. So I want to make sure it's as beautiful as can be. There were some ideas floating about maybe introducing the Great Wall or something. We might do that later, but that's something for some other time. With the landscaping done, more or less, we're going to start building the actual palace structure. So just going to be using those brick pieces to build the foundation, going to be using the pillar and wooden plank pieces to build the upper structures. Pretty mundane stuff. So I figure while all that's happening, I could regale to you the tale of how the Chinese zodiac got determined. So again, it's Chinese New Year's today. And it's the year of the rat. You might have heard these phrases before, the year of the rat, the year of the pig, the year of the whatever it might be. Like I was born in the year of the horse. So this zodiac has this animal naming system, but the story of how that naming system came to be, I think, is fascinating. Now, I learned this when I was very young when I learned this, so some of the details are fuzzy. So feel free to correct me if I've made some mistakes in the comments. Again, I always welcome the correction of misinformation, but I'll regale the tale as I know it. So we're entering the year of the rat. And the year of the rat is actually the first in the cycle of the zodiac. Now, how did this cycle get developed? Basically, like many years ago, right? This is where we're in the land of myth, right? The Jade Emperor, who is basically a god equivalent in China, decided that he wanted to determine the Chinese zodiac. And I forget exactly why he wanted it, but he decided that the way to build this zodiac system was to host a race. And in this race of animals, the order in which the animals finish the race will determine the order of the zodiac. And there are some really interesting stories that kind of hint at what each of these animals is like. And all these stories stem from, or rather, sorry, it's one story. All these sub-stories stem from this one large Chinese zodiac tale. So again, we're entering the year of the rat. The year of the rat was first. So how did the rat end up being first? I love this because it's very characteristic of the rat. The ox is actually in second place, and the ox plays an integral role to the rat being in first place, because close to the end of the race, well, right at the end of the race, there's this river that had to be crossed. So it's a very long race, right? I think it's supposed to be like a trans-China race kind of a thing. But at the end of it, there's a river that needs to be crossed. And the rat didn't know how to cross the river because he's just a rat. But the ox comes up to the river, and I've heard two versions of the story. One version is that the rat saw the ox and then sneaks into the ox's ear to go across the river. And the other is that the rat made a deal with the ox that they would cross the finish line together. I prefer that version of the story. So the ox allows the rat to hide in his ear. They cross the river together, but just as they finish crossing, the rat kind of scurries forth and finishes the race first. And so the rat gets first place, and the ox gets second place. So you're the rat, and then we have the year of the ox. After that, we've got the tiger and the rabbit, and their story is not so interesting. They're just kind of like, oh yeah, they're fast. The tiger is faster. The rabbit had some trouble crossing the river. It waited for a log that it used to cross. So they're third and fourth. And then we've got the dragon in fifth place. And I remember thinking like, oh, how's the dragon not first? It's a dragon. It's got to be first. But no. And so basically the dragon had more important stuff to do. On his way to the race that morning, there was a nearby village that was on fire or something like that. And so the dragon had to go help the people, because the dragons in Chinese mythos, as far as I understand, aren't evil creatures. They're good creatures. So the dragon helped. And then on the way to the finish line, the dragon actually noticed that the rabbit was struggling to cross the river. So the dragon used his breath to blow, I think, a log over, the very log that the rabbit used. And the rabbit doesn't know that the dragon helped him come in fourth place. But because the dragon is such a kind beast, and it had to rescue people, and it was helping the rabbit, the dragon is actually in fifth place. The snake comes in sixth. Now there's two things that I've heard about the snake, and my preferred version is the Jade Emperor told the dragon that because the dragon is such a handsome beast and also such a good beast, it would actually get its son to automatically have the next winning position, which, if you ask me, is kind of cheating. But unfortunately, the dragon's son wasn't racing, and the snake pretended to be the dragon's son. And the Jade Emperor, I mean, there's things about this that I like and don't like. It's like, you fool the Jade Emperor like that? Nah. But as a result, the snake pretends to be the Jade Emperor's, the snake pretends to be the dragon's son, and so the snake is in sixth place. Then there's the horse, and I think the horse is also just kind of like, yeah, fine, it was fast. Oh, right. The other story of the snake is that the snake wrapped its leg around the horse and revealed itself at the end of the race, which scared the horse. And so the snake managed to finish before the horse, marginally. That was the interesting horse story. Goat, I don't think there's anything interesting. Then there's the monkey, I can't remember anything about. Same thing goes for the rooster, but the dog, which is in 11th place, I love this. The dog is in 11th place because he was doing really well, because he's a fast animal, doing really well. But then he came to the river, and then he just started goofing off and just playing in the water. And so he ended up in 11th place, which I think is absolutely adorable. And then in last place was the pig. In fact, the pig was so far in last place that the Jade Emperor almost gave up on a 12th position. And the pig was in last place because on his way to the finish line at one point, he got distracted by food and decided, you know what, I could do with a snack, ate some food, and then felt sleepy, so took a nap, eventually woke up and just waltzed his way over to the finish line. I don't know. I love that story. And again, I don't know if I'm sure there are permutations of it. These things always have permutations. If you've heard a different version, or you know one version to be more accurate than what I've said, or you know that I've made mistakes, feel free to let me know and correct me. Again, I first heard this story when I was super young, and I've been hearing, different permutations of it ever since. I've always found it fascinating, and I thought today would be a nice day to share that little bit of information. It's nice to hear and see actually that y'all enjoy hearing these kinds of stories. You enjoyed my talk of Ganesh in the previous episode. It's always nice to see people who are eager to learn more things, because that's what I'm very much like that. I'm always eager to learn more stuff, so it's fun to be able to share information and talk about things like that. But yeah, there you go. That's how the Chinese zodiac signs were determined. And it's based on years. It's a 12-year cycle, and we're at the beginning of that cycle with the year of the rat. And yeah. And again, each, it's like a zodiac, so everything has its own temperament and whatnot. You can look all that stuff up. Anyway, my massive digression aside, as you can see, going for that very traditional kind of East Asian flair. The thing is, the only time I've spent in East Asia has been in Japan, and that was 6 or 7 years ago. So my memory is a little fuzzy, and I am using reference images to try and get an idea of what I should and shouldn't do, but there's a difference between reference images and actually having lived through a space. So you can see every once in a while, you may have seen every once in a while, I was struggling with exactly how things should come together and how they should coexist. And you can see I managed to use the construction system. I hated almost every second of it, and it's not perfect. For some reason, things don't snap properly. For me, I mean, like, they snap exactly how they're supposed to, but I, for some reason, can't wrap my head around navigating the construction system. That aside, I'm very happy with how this is looking. We've got this little courtyard kind of a thing going where people can stand and soak in the sun. It's a little unfortunate that the windows, like the East Asia windows, aren't actual windows that people can see through. So I had to alternate the walls on the sides here with the windowed walls and the ones with the nice circular pattern, which I customized, because that way people can actually look through there if they wanted to. But yeah, in here, that giant hole in the center is where I'm going to tuck in all of the vendors. So an info center, as well as some other things. I'll go over it after the time lapse. And then around the, in the balcony area, basically, is where people will hopefully spend most of their time looking at the pandas and the red pandas and the pangolin. So this enclosure, actually, that I'm building right now is a little bit too large. And I noticed that after the time lapse. So we'll probably shrink it. Because I've gotten into this bad habit of making extremely large enclosures, and people have a bad time because they can't get a good view. So we'll fix that afterwards. It'll be okay. Nonetheless, I'm going to, I believe, put down some rocks right now, because again, I wanted to get everything down notionally so I have an idea of where things will fit, but I could feel myself getting a little tired already. I actually had a really late night last night. I was writing a lot of scripts and stuff, so I was feeling the fatigue at this point. I was like, all right, I need to maybe slow down. And you can see one of my early mistakes was putting down all these pillars, but they don't really go anywhere. They don't really go anywhere. So I was like, okay, I can either lower the entire building or make another layer of roofing. I didn't know how I felt, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll just get rid of all of these pillars and instead make seating areas so people can come up here, they can sit down. Maybe I'll put a washroom somewhere out there as well. So yeah, we got rid of those extra pillars around the side. But again, if y'all have any ideas or any thoughts, let me know. And here you can see dropping in the facilities. I wanted to make sure they all fit properly. We can fit 4, which is a perfectly fine number. And we'll have to decorate the facilities and their coverings and stuff as well. But overall, yeah, pretty happy with how this has come together. I think it looks pretty neat. I think it captures the aesthetic I was going for. And I think once we do the vegetation, I think you can see I'm trying to mess around with the toilet block up there. But once we do the vegetation, this place will come to life. Because a very big part of these, again, in my head, I have this constant like reference point of Japanese architecture and Japanese landscaping and gardens and stuff. So like the vegetation brings that to a whole other level, and that's what I'm hoping to accomplish here as well with our East Asia beginnings. I feel like it's a similar aesthetic, and again, using the references that I'm looking at, it feels like we can pull off the similar aesthetic and be true to what we're aiming for. Last step over here, though, as you can see, I got rid of the concrete barriers bar in one spot where I want to put the habitat entrance and replaced it with my custom wall pieces. But overall, a pretty neat time lapse, about 2 hours of work. Pretty happy with how it's looking, and hope you guys are as well. Again, let me know your thoughts as always. I always enjoy reading through your feedback in the comments down below. But that will be all for Time Lapse Party Elite. Back to you, regular Party Elite. All right, folks, I think that's where we're going to call it a time lapse. Pretty happy with how this has come out overall. Spent a lot of time doing some research and looking at references as I was building it. Came across some mistakes, but really wanted to try and nail this as much as possible. Maybe one of my more intricate builds. I mean, the temple's sitting right there, so I don't know if it's more intricate than that, but it's pretty cool that from here you can see the temple. But yeah, pretty happy with how this construct has come together. Hopefully, hopefully, I don't sound like I'm pandering to the crowd, huh? Oh my god. Anyway, pandering aside, it's time to get panda-ing. Let's go ahead and get our panda up in here. So Maylin is, again, not the best stats, but it does look like we managed to sell some of our, sorry, if we take a look at our animal trading, animal storage, it looks like some of these guys got bought and some did not. Who did we sell? Who did we not? Why won't you tell me any species? All right. Where are my? Okay, not any species then. Show me just my antelopes. It won't let me filter. There we go. Pronghorn antelope. I want to know how much they went for. 75, 100, 150. Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and try to get these guys going for 100 as well. If I can just go to my storage here. Let's go ahead, because the stats are great. Like, let's be honest here. The stats are solid. Just a matter of who's willing to pay, right? So let's go for another set of 100 each. And if I'm really lucky, then by the time I'm done this tirade, they will have already been sold. No, they haven't been sold yet. Well, too bad. Let's go ahead and check the giant panda. Let's see if we can't get a second one. Go and filter you out. Come on, filter you out. Yeah, these guys are expensive. And we can get a second one, but even worse genes. I can't even close that menu. There we go. These genes are even worse, man. Okay. All right. Well, for now, I suppose we'll have our female, who does need to get taken to these genes are so bad. To the immunity place. What's it called? Oh my god. Quarantine. Come on now. Take you to the quarantine. And let's go ahead and make a new work zone. If I do, what am I looking for? The zoo. Go to staff, work zone, new work zone. This one will be called, I guess we'll call it East Asia. Entrance, because it'll be China, but it'll also be like Mongolia and other stuff. You know, if there's any Japanese animals that are eventually added and things like that as well. So let's go ahead and make that the central point. We'll make this a supplementary, you know, point of sources. We might need to build one closer actually, but let's go ahead and get everything done here. We did manage to get some vendors in here as well. I feel like the stalls are necessary. So if you've got name suggestions for a Missy Good, a Gulpy Energy, an Information Center, and a Looney Balloons, I mean, I will accept Pandemonium, because if it's Looney, then, you know, Pandemonium makes sense. But nonetheless, give me your name suggestions so I can get these vendors named appropriately. And of course, I need a name suggestion for this exhibit as well. Let's go ahead and hit play. I'm going to get some vendors. East Asia. Well, hold on a second. We need to get some staff in here as well. So let's get ourselves a caretaker, or actually, let's get ourselves 2 caretakers. Let's get ourselves a keeper. Should be enough, right? And let's get ourselves a mechanic. And let's get ourselves a security guard. And all of you, I wish I could select them all at the same time. Well, could I actually, if I go to zoo, staff, and I do it by work zone? No, this is a hot mess. Oh my god, this is a horrible mess. Okay, this way is definitely faster. Security guard, go ahead and make you East Asia entrance. You, my good friend, let's make you East Asia entrance. Our mechanic friend over here, make you East Asia entrance. We have to get a solar panel or something over here. Make you East Asia entrance as well, and make you East Asia entrance 2. Now the water, let's go ahead and hit play so that we can get, you know, at least the quarantine happening. But the water will hopefully be clean. I'm pretty sure we've got... Oh, no, you know what? I will need a separate water filtration system over here, I think. It looks like water's not actually getting across over there, so we have to fix that up. Come on now. Come on now, game. Just stuck in pause. All right. There we go. All these guys bouncing down. Let's go ahead and... Sorry. Walking at double speed over here. Just regular speed. Thank you very much. Clear that water out. Go ahead and dig this a little bit deeper, I guess. And that should be... No, of course that's not good enough. Why, game? Why? So I can do that, but I can't do another one over here. All right. Well, kind of defeats the purpose of a bridge, doesn't it? I'll fuss about with this later. I don't want to. I don't want to deal with that right now. We do need, however. Okay, let's quickly check water. Yeah, water. We have our filtration down here. That's taking care of this entire loop. And by the way, the elephants and stuff are having their water filtered as well because we do have contact over here and over here. So this entire loop is being cleaned. This is not being cleaned. Facility without power. That's up over here. I assume everything up over here. Yep. So how do we want to get power? We can do what I'm looking for. Facilities. Looking for power over here. A solar panel. Come in over here, right? Put you by the side. That's not close enough. Wow. You can do something like that, I suppose. Sure. Pop you down. Oh, obstructed by water volume. Great. Put you over here. Unsuitable path for... Okay, there we go. If I get the staff path over here, reduce its length. Do something like... Come on now. Come on now. All we had a... Come on. Oh, yeah. Yes. There we go. Cool, so power has arrived. Can't find an accessible staff room with space. Do we not have staff rooms up over here? I feel like these are the people that don't have staff rooms. No, you're Street Fox Coffee. I need bigger staff rooms where I do have them. But hold on a second. I feel like I got a 5-star review there. Let's go ahead and take a quick peek at our latest. Yep. Latest inspection report. 5 stars all across the board. Crikey, indeed. Wonderful to see. We've only got that once before, I think. So there's our inspection report reward. Ooh. Hello. Release 2 Bengal tigers. Why is it... okay, fair enough. Do what you want. Unbox all of you. Need to start figuring out why these guys get boxed up so often. Something is clearly causing an issue there. Alpha status, quarantine passed. Before we bring the panda in, what did I want to check? Well, I just wanted to mention that there's... oh, dear. What's going on here? Beetles, social health, and I'm guessing the exhibit is also dirty. It keeps... I don't know. Keeps getting dirty all the time. Go ahead and get rid of a bunch of you. There we go. Done. Right, so I just wanted to mention really quickly that... yeah, I think it's just they're waiting for staff rooms to free up, so I'll need to build more. But, sorry, I just wanted to mention that we are obviously not done here. As always, I want to get the animal in here. I want to do part of the work. I want to get the animal in here and then see what their preferences are in terms of invalid destination. Why? Is habitat not complete? Incomplete. Let's see. What's the deal here? Fine here. Oh, I see. Right, so we want to get the animal in here, and then after the animal's in here, we will continue to work on, it's like terrain preferences, vegetation preferences. I want to do a whole garden space back over here, as you may have been able to tell with the little pond that I was building. So yeah, there's plans yet that need to be executed. Fear not, this is not its complete state, but just doing my usual, partial completion. Get the animal in here, see what the animal has to say, and then finish it off. So let's go ahead and move you in. You should be able to move now. And yes, Habitat 24 does need a name as well. If I didn't mention that earlier, I'm mentioning it now. So names for all these vendors, names for the habitat itself as well. We're going to get a nice waterfall going on over here. We're going to get, lily pads and stuff, a nice play space and things, and hopefully people will be able to look at them from up over here. And the building needs some work as well, like these pillars, they need to actually, lead to something. So things aren't complete, but they never are in the first pass. Like, oh my god, this is unacceptable. They never are in the first pass, so that's kind of just the way I roll, I guess. I prefer to take it in a couple of steps. And I think next session what we'll do is we will hop back and finish off the elephant stuff. And the session after that, we'll go over here and finish off the panda stuff, and then we'll take it from there, I think is the way to go. But we definitely need water filtration. Oh, panda's arriving. As the panda's arriving, I should mention, and this is going to sound a little bittersweet, but so the panda has kind of become synonymous with conservation efforts, and oh my god, they're so cute. All right, let me just check real quick if they're happy at all. Enrichment is low, habitat, terrain, plants, hard shelter is all bad, bad, bad. We'll fix all that up. Oh. Run, girl, run. We'll fix that up. We'll add a little hard shelter area over here, perhaps, or maybe allow them to tuck in or build a little hard shelter area in this corner over here. Hopefully the space isn't too big to get a good view of the pandas from. In terms of terrain, it is a little bit larger than it maybe needs to be. We can shrink it. We can push this wall up over here. That will, like, tighten the area up a little bit. We can add a different enclosure down over here because we've got red pandas who like climbing around, if I'm not mistaken. We've got the regular panda, and we've got the pangolin as well. But as I was saying about the panda, so they've kind of become the symbol of conservation efforts. The thing is, the unfortunate thing with pandas is they're kind of, look good. They can get past the bridges and everything. They're kind of dumb, and they're not. They basically do everything within their power to not be conserved. They're really hard to get to mate, and arguably it's kind of a big waste of resources to try and keep pandas safe. Now again, things might be different now. This is just stuff that I learned a long time ago, and I found it fascinating because again, pandas are kind of the icon. It literally, like the WWF uses, not the wrestling one, uses the panda as their logo, right? Oh, how did you get out there? Baby croc, I guess. What did you get out there? Ah, I see. Sneaky little bugger. There we go. We're good. We're good. No more dangerous animal. Yeah. So like the WWF uses them as their logo and whatnot. And we often consider their plight as most urgent. But in many ways, there are other animals who are easier to help sustain and to help bring back from endangered status and stuff that are ignored because the panda just is so difficult to get to get fixed, I guess. I'm looking for the right word. You know, they don't mate very easily, even though Zoopedia calls them promiscuous. Evidently, they don't really mate in the wild. That's why a lot of the time you'll see like people try to get pandas to mate, and it's very difficult. They are very dumb. They will often, like, you know, some of the most popular panda gifs are of pandas falling off trees, dropping their babies because they're being handed food. Like, it's hilarious and adorable, but these are all dangerous situations that the panda often finds itself in. So it's really unfortunate because, I mean, hey, look at them. They're adorable, and, you know, okay. That little, like, treading water moment there was absolutely cute. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that little tidbit because I always find it interesting. When I learned it, I thought it was pretty interesting. And things might be different now. It might be better now for the pandas. You know, maybe we found some better solutions and stuff. But yeah, thought you'd find that interesting as we get the panda in here. Anyway, folks, I think we've got a pretty nice thing going right now. Are you stuck there? No, you've got access. You just got to get out of there. Night's falling, it looks like. I don't want it to be nightfall. But yeah, we've got a pretty good thing going for a panda. Let's see. Enrichment is low, of course. Plants, terrain, hard shelter. Let's go ahead and add some more long grass, I suppose. No, less long grass, more short grass. Good. I want that as well. Go ahead and get that sorted. There we go. Oh, wow. That was a cute noise. Taking a poop? No. Alright, it's enough short grass over here as well. Go ahead and paint all of this. And again, we got to light this area up and stuff as well, right? We got some of the lighting done. I want to quickly check how the orange lights look down in Southeast Asia. Oh yeah, that looks... Oh my god, that looks beautiful. The orange, that was a great suggestion. Oh, that's gorgeous. Oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. All right, back to this gorgeous over here, Maylid. Go ahead and get, where is the rest of the long grass? There we go. Long grass is taken care of. We need some soil, though. A little bit of soil around the water always works nice. We need a lot of soil, though. Right, up the intensity there. There we go. I believe whatever's underwater doesn't actually count. Soil over here. There we go. We'll have to see how this actually looks when the sun comes up. Some soil back there. Alright, almost there. I'd like to check some boxes before we... There we go, call it a session, right? So overall, pretty happy. Plants, shelter, enrichment. Temperate climate plants. We'll get that sorted. We'll get that sorted, don't worry, buddy. Dangerous animals escaped. Oh my god. The red light's very fitting. These guys. Clever little things, aren't they? Animals fighting over there with the Galapagos tortoises. Okay, you might stay stuck on that side, so let's go ahead and emergency capture you. It's just $1,000. Better that than all the angry guests. Pronghorn antelopes and the, oh man. Ratios. Too many males over here, I take it. Yule, who I should have marked as the father, you. You will be the father still, because he's got solid genetics. Compared to this Yule. Oh, hold on a second. Both golden. Oh, you've got much better genetics. We're going to keep you. And you will have to go. Go ahead and send you into Trade Center. And I gotta check on this Yule, and I gotta check your mates. Because you might be inbreeding with all of these. There's a little bit of inbreeding over here. No. Okay, this is not good. I mean, I might... Okay, let's put you on contraceptives, because these are good genetics, right? I'm trying to figure out how I need to balance this out. Do I replace the females, or do I bring the other Yule back and trade this Yule out? It's the top two stats that matter most, right? So let's go ahead and just check on Yule real quick. Oh yeah, see that 50 is the problem. That 50 is the problem. Thing is, this Yule is younger as well. So maybe, I think maybe we'll swap over to this Yule being the new alpha, and we'll swap all the females out. That sounds like an arduous task, but I guess this is brother to all these others. Inbreeding. I wish it would mark it right over here so I didn't have to click. This just says offspring. So is it offspring as well as inbreeding? Who'll know? Offspring as well. I guess you just had a baby. Well, hold on. Or is it because you're on contraceptives? Not gonna show me. Nonetheless, we'll figure this out. We'll do that next session, I think. The other things that need taken care of. I need to get the train coming up over here to the China section. I need to do the boat as well, get all that working. Do we have a... No, that is not a baby elephant. Plants are a little low. Oh, the coverage is a little low again. That's strange. How did that suddenly drop? Down over there. You okay now? There we go. Yeah, there's lots to do. There's lots to do. But folks, this is actually where I'm going to call it a session. Pretty happy that we actually got our panda in. We need to get food and stuff down. We need to get a hard shelter. We need to get enrichment. There's lots to do, of course, but all that will have to wait until next time. I hope y'all enjoyed this session. If you did, as always, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. It does make a very big difference in how I approach content on the channel. Once more, again, if you celebrate Chinese New Year, happy Chinese New Year's. Hopefully you learned a little something or two from the story that I told during the time-lapse. I've always found it a fascinating one. And hopefully you learned something interesting about pandas. Now, if you know anything better... Okay, that's cute. I was like waiting for a thumbnail moment, and you know what? I think we've got it. What a cutie. What a cutie. Anyways, if you have any information that you'd like to share about panda conservation or China or name ideas or anything like that, as always, let me know in the comments down below. Folks, calling it a session. I keep saying I'm going to call it a session, then I extend it by another 10 minutes to time to actually call it a session. Again, if you enjoyed, let me know. Leave a like, leave a comment. And, yeah. Oh, I should mention, there's probably not going to be a Sunday special this weekend. Maybe we'll pick that back up next weekend, but we're not going to have a Sunday special this weekend. Just another crazy weekend in the life of Party Elite. Hope y'all don't mind. With that said, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. And a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.